Hey guys, so today I will show you how I make these beautiful goddess locks, and they are so pretty. This is part 1, and part 2 will have the actual installation of the locks because I don't want this video to be too long. So I made over 80 locks. I made about 85 locks, and as you can see, she really loves it. She wanted more hair than locks, so we did shorter locks with longer lengths of hair, and it turned out really beautiful. It was really pretty on her. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I am using I have this little thing rigged up here. It's just a flower stem. It's a faux flower stem. You can use a coat hanger or just whatever type of rod that you can kind of prop up and put the locks on. So I take a full strand of marley hair and cut it in half. And then I fold it and cut it in half again to give me, well, it gives me 4 pieces of marley hair that are approximately the same size. You can make yours longer, but like I said, I want the lock to be a little shorter. So I'm taking a piece and I'm just putting it over the rod here. And I am just putting a simple braid in, nothing special, okay? But you want it to be looped around, and you want to be able to slide these off easily. So if you can't slide them off of a rod, use something else because you want to be able to remove them. So at the end, I just tie a knot, okay? And this is just kind of to keep the braid from unraveling. And also it gives me like a support for when I add the hair to the end. So again, as you can see, I have wrapped it over. I have a piece of hair wrapped over the rod, and I am just going to do a nice little braid. You want the braid to be small, okay? You don't want it to be really big because you're going to end up wrapping these locks a few different times. So you're going to wrap it once when we are actually making the lock, and when you do the installation, you're going to end up wrapping it again. So make the lock the size that is appropriate. Just understand that the lock will get bigger later. So here's the lock. I am putting in this little knot at the end, and you can trim the excess hair that's sticking out from the end, okay? I also want to point out that I do work from home. I do have a 11-year-old now, and he does keep things on the floor. So if you see something on the floor, no, we're not disgusting, dirty people. It's just that my son likes to play on the floor a lot. So, I know some people have an issue with like clutter and they make crazy comments. So yeah, I'm just letting you know what's on the floor. Now, here is the hair we're using. This is an 18-inch body wave. And so I'm adding this 18-inch onto the ends of these little locks that are about 5 inches a piece. So she's getting about 23 inches of lock extension, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a piece off that's about 4 to 5 inches in length. And I split the wefts straight down the middle. So for each lock, I like to use a piece that's about 2 or 2.5 inches to just wrap around. And when I split the wefts down the middle like this, it just allows me to be able to wrap it easier and flatter on the end of the braid. So you'll see what I'm talking about. Please be careful when you're splitting your wefts. This could go so wrong so quick. So just be careful that you are taking care and just, using care to split those wefts down with scissors. It works easier with a razor. I couldn't find a razor. I don't know what happened to all my razors, but scissors work fine. Just please be careful, okay? I'm also going to go in and trim these weird little pieces of hair that tend to come in these wefts like this. So I just trim that out. And yeah, I have 2 pieces, and each piece I'm going to cut in half, okay? That'll give me 4 pieces of weft that are about 2.5 inches a piece, okay? I'm going in with some hair glue, old school hair glue. And I did something weird to the top, so don't mind that. But just put a little bit of hair glue onto the weft like so. And we're just going to begin to wrap it up the braid. I like to start right above the knot. So I put it right on top of the knot because the knot kind of helps it to, stay in place. And I just begin to wrap it around. Now, you can also do this by putting the glue directly onto the braid, but I found that when I did that, I think I put too much glue. So this is also another method you can do. And I just wrap it up like a little spiral, a tight little spiral like this. And I secure it with these double prong clips that people use for locks. And I use 2 of them. So one at the top and one right below that. And I give it a quick little squeeze just to kind of secure it. And yeah, that's what it's looking like. Okay, now you want to take these clips off after a few minutes or so. And you take a nice hot flat iron. Mine is set to like 460 degrees just because I want it to be hot. You don't have to have it that high. But I'm comfortable with using heat that high on this. So I just kind of like mash the weft. Do not mash the braid. Do it on the wefts because the wefts do not melt. And make sure you are constantly lifting and removing that heat so that it doesn't get burned or anything like that. And I'm going to do it to all of them just like this. Get as close as you can to that base of the weft like that. Give it some pressure, squeeze it, like make sure you're really pushing that those wefts together so that they do not come apart, okay? Here's what it looks like when it's all done with the heat. It's cooled down quite a bit. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to begin to wrap the hair around. I'm going to show you the kind of hair that I'm using, okay? As you can see, I'm tugging this. It is not moving. It's not going anywhere. It won't unravel. I'm going to use this spring twist hair, okay? And I'm going to cut this hair in half, okay? So you can see that I'm preparing to cut the hair in half. And here we go. And each half, I'm going to split that in half. So I'll end up having 2 pieces, okay? See, there's 1 and 2. And then I'm going to split the other piece in half. And I'm going to have 2 pieces on that side. Altogether, it gives me 4, okay? And I'm doing 4 for demonstration purposes because I have 4 locks. And I think it's easier to make these 4 at a time or 8 at a time. However it's easiest for you. I'm going inside of that loop, okay? I'm going in the loop with the crochet hook. And I am going to put the hair, the spring twist hair, inside of that hook. Okay, I'm going to close the hook as best as I can. And I'm going to pull a little bit of that hair through. And I'm going to kind of spread that hair kind of around the braid, just like that. I'm going to hold it securely, and I'm just going to begin to take the longer end and wrap. Wrap, wrap, wrap. There's a lot of wrapping with this hairstyle, so may as well get used to it. I am wrapping it rather tight, and I am moving down ever so slightly with each wrap, okay? So just continue to wrap like so. This is how long it takes me in real time, but also remember that my little locks are short, okay? So I have a little bit of that hair here from when I folded that down at the top, but honestly, it's just going to cover up that little weft down here. So just continue to keep wrapping, and don't wrap it too far down. You don't want to go all the way down that silky hair because you might have a hard time getting it to stay. So just keep wrapping that and wrap all of the hair going upwards. So once you get to that certain point, begin to wrap the hair going upwards. See how I'm going back up? You want to do it like that. Give it a quick palm roll. And there's your lock. Now you're going to take this tool here, and I don't really even know how to explain this part, but I like to go in and out and twist the wrap. I mean, in and out and twist the lock like this. Like I'm just kind of scooping it around, and basically I'm just creating a bunch of knots so that the lock doesn't like unravel. Okay. And so that's what I'm doing. I've seen people like use this thing different ways, but I will tell you that this can be a little painful if you're not used to it. So just be careful. But yeah, so this, and it also takes a long time, but I am doing this quite a bit. I think this lock took me about 6 or 7 minutes just to do this part. And that's because I'm not really familiar with using this tool a lot. I only use it for this, and I don't make these often. So if you have a better method, use that. Now I'm just trimming those flyaways here. And as you can see, the lock is looking good. We are done with this one, and we will do this 80 more times. Like I said in the beginning, we ended up using 58 locks. So I always like to make more than what we need, because you never know. You just never know. So it's always good to have extra, and she can reuse these. Okay. So here are the locks. They are all done. We are going to slide these off, which is why I said it's very important to use a rod or a pencil or something that you can slide these things off easily with, because otherwise they're going to be stuck on there forever and you have to break something. It's too much. Okay. So I took those off, and here they are. Aren't they so cute? Oh my God. They're so pretty, and they're super, super gorgeous. They do take time to make, but they last a really long time. So being that we use the virgin hair on the end, she can really like wash them and, you know, do all kinds of stuff with them. She can curl them up. Here's a bunch of them that I made. Okay. And I will show you all what they will look like when we're done. I do have a part 2 video coming up of this process. The part 2 does show the installation. It shows my client's reaction. It's going to be really, really, really amazing. So thank you all so much for watching my video. I can't wait to see you all in my next video. It's coming soon. Alrighty, bye.